Hello, and welcome back to another coaching video. I've started doing a poll for what topic you guys want me to talk about in the next scripted video. This time, you guys chose how to dominate in the laning phase. Laning is a big topic in League of Legends, as winning lane can end up helping win the game as well, but we need to talk about how we can consistently get better at laning. But before we get started, I'm still offering free coaching VOD reviews for anyone that would like one. Any rank, any role. Just go into the description of this video and add me on Discord so we can get one started for you. As in every video I release, matchups always come up, as it is one of the most important facts to understand. Matchups, by the way, is the dynamic battle two champions have with each other. Every champion has winning and losing matchups, but that does not mean you can't make it even better. So how can we get better at matchups? Well, obviously we need to start playing the game, but we need to play one champion for a very long time. This is just the start though, as playing that champion might give us bad habits and we may not be playing them to their full potential. I recommend watching a one-trick player challenger, grandmaster, or master player that plays the champion you want to get better at. They might show you some simple tricks on how to get better at that certain character, and this can even help you with your macro skill as well. This is only one side of the coin though. Understanding a champion is great, but we need to understand how that champion stacks up to others. This is what a matchup is after all. An easy way to check if your character has a bad matchup against the enemy is by going to websites like op.gg and u.gg to check what champions your character is losing more than winning. This doesn't work for all champions, but it is just a quick check on the worst matchups possible. But how about for more complicated matchups, and the champion I'm reversing is a 50% win rate against me? Well, sadly to say, matchups are all about experience. Experiencing a trade, experiencing laning phase, experiencing a fight, experiencing early game, mid game, late game, experiencing all possibilities. There's no fast track way of getting good at matchups. Limit testing is a good way to gain these experiences. Limit testing is all about testing your limits and trying something to see the outcome of what happened so you can learn from the experience and change it for the future. As I said a bunch of times before, League is all about collecting information and using that knowledge to get an upper hand against the enemy team. But matchups aren't everything when it comes to laning phase. Macro skills like wave management can make every game 10 times better. I already made a scripted video that was a super in-depth guide to wave management, so I won't go into too much detail about how it works. If you are interested in getting even better at this skill, I highly recommend watching that video. So first, what is wave management, and what techniques are we going to talk about in this video? Well, wave management is as it says, managing waves. More importantly, controlling a wave to give you an advantage in the laning phase. We also need to understand that being able to control the wave comes down to matchups, wave position, and other advantages. What kind of wave techniques can we use? First is slow pushing. Slow pushing is the technique of pushing in a wave slowly into the enemy, which stacks up minions on your side and eventually crashes into the enemy tower. Slow pushing is the #1 technique that is used in every game in every lane. It has amazing capabilities of giving you an advantage in the early game, as minion damage actually matters a lot when you go into a fight. It can give you lane prio, time to roam, level advantages, positioning advantages, and so much more. In a controlled scenario, you can start a slow push just by last hitting minions when a wave is neutral, meaning both sides have the same amount of minions. But this already is a problem if your laner is hitting the minions more often. So if we want to start a slow push, we need to hit the minions more than our enemy. This doesn't fix all the problems though, as our enemy can just continuously hit minions to fast push in a wave, stopping our slow push. This is why I say that these techniques aren't things we can use whenever we want. Certain conditions should be made in order for us to accomplish a slow push. #1, we would like to have had a wave bounce back from our tower, and the minion wave is fighting close to our tower. This generally stops the enemy from fast pushing a wave back into our tower, as they are now super pushed up into the lane and can be ganked or poked out more easily. #2 is we would like some type of advantage, either like health advantage, cooldowns, mana, and etc. This is only when we want to start a slow push. The reason why fighting in a slow push is bad for the enemy is the minion count and the amount of minions that will be attacking them. But as we start a slow push, that advantage doesn't exist, so having another advantage to scare the opponent away from the wave can be super helpful in starting one. Once we start the slow push, the minions will do most of the work for us. When we have a big wave, we can start playing more aggressively, as the fight will most likely be won because of the amount of minions you have. You will also level up before the enemy on certain waves, making you have level advantage. We should protect our wave at all costs, and try to start a fight. If we fight, not only do we have a higher chance of winning it, if we kill the lane opponent, they will lose all the minions who are pushing into their tower, making them go even further behind. Let's move on to talk about fast pushing. Fast pushing is the technique of pushing in the wave as fast as possible with autos and abilities to crash a small wave into the enemy's tower. Fast pushing isn't done as commonly as slow pushing in the early stages of the laning phase, but as we get further into the game, slow pushing becomes weaker and fast pushing becomes stronger. The main reason for that is the strength of our champions and the items we have bought. The turning point of when this happens is around level 7, where most champions have substantial enough wave clear to not worry about slow pushes anymore. Minions are also doing way less damage, and fighting in a minion wave isn't as risky as before. So many people switch to fast pushing as this is where we can finally get out of our lane and do more things around the map. Freezing is the process of keeping a wave at a certain point in the lane, keeping it there for as long as you freeze the wave. Freezing is definitely a more complicated technique than fast pushing or slow pushing. Starting a freeze isn't that difficult, but keeping one going for a long time can be really challenging. In order to start a freeze, we need to have some type of advantage on our side, like again the type of advantages we talked about before. Some other ones could be just basic advantages like you are ahead in items, levels, and also you have more HP or mana than your opponent. In order to start a freeze, the enemy needs to have more minions than us, and it is different depending on where the wave is in the lane. The closer it is to your tower, the more minions the enemy needs. The reason why freezing can be good is because it forces the enemy laner to step up to the wave to CS, and if they do, you can heavily punish them by either getting a good trade or killing them. This is why we need an advantage for a freeze, as if we don't, it can be easily stopped by the enemy by forcefully pushing the wave into us to stop our freeze. The reason why it isn't really used in mid is because the lane is so short, the freeze just doesn't matter as much, as the amount of space we have to go for a kill is so much more limited than top or bot. Also, it is way harder to freeze on most mid champs, as they have longer range abilities to forcefully push the wave in. Waves are very important in lane, but something that people forget a lot about is the level 2, 3, 6 advantages. These levels are the most important levels in the game, as it gives you a whole new ability that makes you twice as strong as before. So when we go in on a champion when we are a level up on them, like being level 2 while they are level 1, we almost guarantee that we will win the fight and maybe get a kill. Every lane has its own way of hitting level 2, 3, and 6. Top and mid are both one-person lanes, so both of them level up generally at the same time. To hit level 2, you need to clear the entire first wave and then one more minion. So 7 minions in total. To hit level 3, you need to clear the first wave and second wave, and finally 2 more minions with a total of 14 minions. You can just remember when a cannon wave comes, 2 more minions in that cannon wave will make you hit level 3. Hitting level 6 doesn't have a specific time, as we would need to keep track of all the minions we were in lane for, the kills we got, and any other things that give us EXP. But 5:30 to 6:30 in-game time is generally when most people hit level 6. Just keep track of your EXP, and whoever has the most minions will most likely hit level 6 first. For bot lane, the support and ADC share experience, so they have a different level 2, 3, 6 timers than the solo laners. In order to hit level 2, you need to kill the entire first wave and then kill 3 more minions. To hit level 3, you need to kill 3 waves, and then again 3 more minions to get level 3. This isn't super hard to remember, but just keep track of it as this can give you an advantage, but also put you into a disadvantage. Level 6 is the same as the solo laners, as we can't really keep track of all the EXP we have collected, but it will usually happen around the 9:30 to 10:30 minute mark. These advantages are really strong, but sometimes people forget how much more we can squeeze out its power. One thing is positioning ourselves better when we are about to hit these levels. If we position very aggressively when we need one more minion to hit the next level, this can bait the opponent into trying to fight you, or they might not respect it and you can still get a pretty good trade because of the positioning you have. We also would like to slow push with these levels. Fast pushing while doing a level 2-3 advantage makes the minions be too close to their tower, meaning it is harder to trade the opponent and will have less time to chase them down the lane. So, slow pushing when doing these advantages is better, as the minion waves will stay closer to the center of the lane, giving us more time to trade and chase. I've been saying trading a lot in the past few minutes, but this skill is really important in the laning phase. Trading is when you fight the opponent and trade HP for theirs. A good trade is when you come out with more HP than theirs. A bad trade is when you have less HP than theirs after you traded. And lastly, a neutral trade is where both of you get equal amount of HP from one another. We know what trading is, but a lot of people don't know how to trade properly to get the highest probability of getting a good trade. There are also many variations of trading as well, with how long the trade is and how much range you or the opponent has. Short trades, long trades, short distance trades, medium distance trades, long distance trades, and super long distance trades. This also goes back a little bit to matchups, as many champions like doing a specific type of trade pattern. For example, Xerath is a super long distance short trader, as he has amazing range and usually uses all of his spells and backs off immediately until his spells are back up and do it all over again. Darius is a short distance long trader, as he really likes to chase people down, and the longer the trade, the better. This is because of his passive bleed stack and max bleed stack extra damage. This goes into also talking about range advantage as well, and if you would like more information about that, I highly recommend watching my beginner guide to mid lane to understand what that means. But any champion can do any specific type of trade, but most of them have certain types that they always stick to. Recognize what the enemy trade pattern is and how they can accomplish it. Also recognize how you would like to trade and how the opponent can stop you from accomplishing it. There is an easy way to spot when trading is a good idea, and there are other things that can make our trades better overall for our laning phase. How can we spot a trade opportunity? There are good and bad times when going for a trade. Let's talk about some quick tips that can help. Number 1 is trading when we have wave advantage. This means we have more minions on our side than the enemy, and most trades that we do with them will most likely end up in a good trade because of the minion damage that they would take. Number 2 is keeping track of the enemy's cooldowns. When the enemy uses an ability, they need to wait a couple of seconds before they can use it again, meaning they will have one less ability to help with a trade. This would be a prime time to punish their cooldowns and take a trade. Lastly is the level 2, 3, 6 advantages, or any other level advantage. As explained before, these levels make you twice as strong as before, so the likelihood of winning a trade is high when we have one more ability than them. The other level advantages are also pretty good, but not as powerful as the level 2, 3, 6 advantages. One last quick tip to getting the most out of our abilities. When we want to trade the opponent, if we have skills that are AoE, meaning they do damage in an area, we would love to hit the minions and the opponent together. This does not only damage the opponent, but also pushes the wave into them, helping you fight for wave control, and most likely winning it. So those were the big concepts you need to understand in order to get really good at the laning phase. Matchups are always a heavy importance in any game, and you should take every game as a learning experience. Wave management is critical in creating leads and also keeping those leads by sapping away gold and EXP from the enemy laner. Trading is how we do damage to the enemy laner, but understanding when a good time to go for a trade is critical in us gaining an advantage. After this video gets posted, I will be putting up another poll for the next scripted video. The 2 previous topics will still be on the list, and a new topic will also be added if you would rather have that video. I would really love your guys' input on what you want to see, and this is a little fun thing I can do to interact with my amazing fans. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider hitting that subscribe button and giving the video a like. It is completely free and you can unsubscribe whenever you feel like it. Hopefully this video has helped you get better at the laning phase. Good luck on your climbs and I will see you in the next video. Take care.